Joy here, holistic nutritionist. So this recipe today is for my paleo vegan meatballs, but there's kind of a funny story how I came about this recipe. So a few weeks ago, I was thinking to myself, you know what, I really am craving meatballs, but I want to create a plant-based version. So I go looking for one, and I realized that I have one on the blog on joyoushealth.com from 8 years ago. So I'm like, yes, score. So I go look up the recipe. They were raw at the time as well. I didn't cook them, and I'm like, oh, when I saw the recipe, I was like, the photos are so bad. I'm actually embarrassed at my food photos back then. But who cares, because the recipe is smashingly delicious. So these are paleo and vegan. So paleo meaning no grains, no dairy, no beans, no sugar, no processed foods, and vegan, self-explanatory. They're 100% plant-based. But this time, unlike my original recipe, I decided to bake them and then took it to the next level. So that's my recipe for you today. So before you get started with any chopping, set your oven to 350 degrees or 180 Celsius, depending what you use. And you need a food processor because it's a lot of chopping and it's so much easier. So essentially you take every single ingredient, you just toss it all in your food processor, hit start, and away you go. So you want to put your walnuts in, sun-dried tomatoes add such a lovely flavor, dates for a little bit of sweetness, some sea salt, some extra virgin olive oil, carrots. Now I do chop the carrots up a little bit because it makes it easier for your food processor, but as you can see, it's just packed with vegetables. So many vitamins and minerals, so many nutrients for your vitality and your energy. Use whole, fresh herbs, and don't worry so much about making sure that you're using the exact amount, because if you use more fresh basil or fresh parsley, don't even worry about it. It's gonna make it taste so good. And then you add some fresh lemon. I love adding lemon to recipes because it adds that nice brightness to a recipe. So now you're gonna blitz it. You want it to get nicely chopped up, so almost like a fine ground. Give it a little taste test. I always do that, see if it needs anything. And then also put some of the meatball into your hand and see if you can pack it together. Now don't freak out if it's not packing well. You may just need to add a little bit more extra virgin olive oil, or you might wanna add a couple more dates, because the dates are like the glue. That's that sticking power. And don't worry, these are not gonna taste like cookies. Not to worry, because you have so many other ingredients in there that make it taste so delicious. I forgot to mention I also put in garlic, so there is seasoning. So for the full recipe, you'll just see it in the description box. So then just roll your balls into whatever size balls you like. Put them on a baking sheet. I like to use parchment paper so nothing sticks. As you can see, I use non-bleached parchment paper. I put them on my baking sheet, and you're gonna bake them until they start to get kind of golden. If you want, halfway through baking, you can pull them out of the oven and just turn them a bit, because they will start to bake more on one side, but honestly, you don't even have to. Now, I love pasta, but I really, really love using spiralized zucchini. That's one of my favorite ways to enjoy these meatballs, is actually spiralizing a little zucchini. You have so many good, healthy, complex carbohydrates here. And then I always have homemade tomato sauce, so all I do to heat them, you can heat them one of two ways. As you can see, I just mix the zucchini noodles into the warm sauce. That's one way. Or you can heat your zucchini noodles on a pan with a bit of olive oil and just saute it, put a little sea salt, maybe some garlic powder, totally up to you. And then all you're gonna do is plate it. So put your zucchini noodles and your sauce in a plate, take your warm balls out of the oven, and then just put as many balls as you want to eat. This recipe is so delicious. These paleo vegan meatballs are going to knock the socks off of any meat eater. In fact, maybe don't even tell people what's in them. Just let them enjoy how delicious they are, and you'll feel so good knowing that it's great nourishment for you and your whole family. By the way, for those of you who have kids, I have a 4-year-old, she loves these. So if you guys like my video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions at all about this recipe or comments, let me know how much you love it. Be sure to post below, and I hope you have a joyous day. Bye guys!